Good evening, Facebook. I hope everyone's having a brilliant night. It's Friday, and I thought I'd do a live video regarding financial requirements for settlement applications. If you have a spouse, a partner, or a child that you want to sponsor to come to the UK to join you, I wanted to discuss about the financial requirements because I know that can be very, very tricky and can be very difficult to check whether you're getting the information correct or whether you have the right documents. The reason why I'm actually doing this is because I recently have completed an application for a client. It's a spouse application, spouse visa application, to come to join. The sponsor is in the UK, and he is sponsoring his wife from East Asia. So when I say about what requirements you need to show that you actually comply with the 18,600 per month income, it's very easy for me to say this is what you need and this is what you have to show. But I think if I place myself on the client's shoes, client's place, I think it can be a bit difficult because I know in my head I'm saying you need to do this, you need to collect these documents to show. But when they actually give me the requirements, when actually give me the documents, and then I go through them because it's one of those documents that are very, very important. If you don't get it right, then it's almost 100% sure that it will be rejected. The application will be rejected. So what I did was, the requirements are that if you are a sponsor, okay, so I'm talking about the sponsor now, the one who is in the UK making an application for their child, for their spouse, partner, fiance to come to the UK. If you're a sponsor, you need to show that you're earning 18,600 per month, per year, before tax. Okay, so that amount should be quite easy to comply. So what you need to show is that if you are employed for at least 12 months with the same employer, then it's easy because you only have to provide 6 months worth of bank statements, okay, to show that you comply with this requirement. And you have to show your payslip. So you go back. So if you're applying, let's say you're applying today, which is the 22nd, okay, your fiance, your child in your home country has had their appointment today, then we go back 6 months from today. And so if you are paid monthly and at the end of the month, so you need to provide your payslip end of January. Okay, so you have a January payslip, and then you will have the December payslip, and so on, November, October, September, August. So you have to show those payslips to as proof that you're actually earning the required amount for the whole year. So you don't have to provide the whole full 12 months, just the 6 months if you've been employed with the same employer. So with that, the Home Office will also want to show, because the payslips are not enough. The payslips can be manipulated, okay? So you can print a payslip that show tax are deducted, blah, 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 blah. And so the Home Office want to make sure that that's actually genuine. So they want to verify that the payslip, the bank corresponds with the payslip. So they will look also on the bank statement. So that's why you need to supply the 6 months worth of bank statements. And they will look for the entries of the income, regular income every month. So that's fine. That's very, very straightforward. So if your sponsor is working for the same employer for the last 12 months or even for the last 6 months, and you are earning more than, I think, 360 per week before tax, then you comply with the requirements, because that's, I think, equivalent to 18,600 something, a little bit above that amount. So that's fine, but it becomes complicated because what if your sponsor has been working for the same employer for the last 6 months, but the earning is less. Okay, so the earning is less, and then they have another job. Okay, and the job is and the job, they've been doing this job but irregular. So meaning, you know, they may be earning, I don't know, the same 500 for 2 weeks, and then another 300 for the next 2 weeks. So they're irregular amounts. So that is quite complicated to calculate. So you have to set it out. You can't just, you know, oh, you can't calculate and say, yeah, definitely I've earned 18,600 for the whole year, and then hope for the best and submit the documents for the Home Office to look at. You have to present it in such a way that they would actually look at the payslip, and you would have a spreadsheet that says, in January, this is how much I earned for this job, and this is how much I earned for this job. So if you have 2 jobs, then you need to set it out correctly. You need to set it out so that it's easy for the Home Office caseworker looking at it and then they would just verify the documents that you have. Okay. You actually need to calculate it differently. Okay, so if it's for example, if it's a regular amount, you need to calculate. There's there's a way to calculate it in the guidance. So when my client said, oh, you know, I've been working for this employer for the last 6 months, I said, that's fine. Okay, that's good. I mean, you know, you're fine with that. And he provided me with the pay slips, but the pay slips are not, I thought it was the same amount every month, but then for the last 6 months, but then they're different. So the first 3 months, I think the gross amount was different from what the pay slip says, or what I think he said would be. And so I had to look carefully, because if I had relied on the 6 pay slips, because he said he's worked for them for 6 months, if I had relied on the 6 pay slips but didn't calculate it, didn't check what was actually in the bank account, then he would have had a refusal. You know, he would have been refused. But so what I did was I checked on that, and then I realized, oh my goodness, this doesn't actually comply with the requirements. So I had to ask for the last 12 months with this other job, because if it doesn't comply with the 6 months, then it would be refused, and you have to provide proof that for the last 12 months you're actually earning that amount of money. So he then provided all the payslips from his other job, and I had to calculate all of them, plus the one that he already had, the 6 months recent jobs that he had. And with that, he complied with the requirements. And then I also checked, and I asked for provide with 12 months bank statements, and he only provided, I think, up to December. So he said, oh yeah, I ordered 12 months worth of bank statements, but there wasn't really 12 months. There was, the January was missing. So I had to, instead of, I was about to post the documents to submit to the Home Office, but I had to ask him for the January and the February, you know, because we're at the 22nd now. So the whatever entries were in February. So I had to ask for that, so that when the Home Office looks at it, they have all the full picture of his income for the past 12 months. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys, because I know it's very, very important you get this right. If you don't, then it's really easy, because this is one of the mandatory, this is one of the requirements, and the Home Office is very, very strict with the requirements and the documents that you have to supply. If something is missing, if something is not right, then they do have, they can ask for more documents, they can request it from you, but they didn't have to. Okay, so you can't, if they refuse you, you can't ask, well, they should have just, you know, called me, they should have just written to me. But if the caseworker decided not to request that document, then there isn't really anything much you can do, because, you know, you have to appeal, and then they refuse you. And when they refuse you, it's kind of inconvenience, because it will then take longer. You have to appeal, and then it takes longer to have your family join you in the UK. Okay, so that's all I wanted to share. Hi, thank you so much for joining me, and have a lovely, lovely evening. There, I'm sure there isn't any question, but PM me if you want to ask anything about the financial requirements. It's quite a meaty topic. It's not something that you really want to, think about on Friday evening. So, but I thought I'd get it over with and share with you what I wanted to share with you today, before I forget, because I always forget. Okay, guys, have a lovely, enjoy your evening, and see you again soon. Bye.